Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jay's Fit Down Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Gay, here today with Coach Tucker Pruitt over at Fitzgerald High School, located in Region 2A here at GHSA Football. Coach, I appreciate you joining us today, talking some ball with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, Coach, how's everything going with you this year?
It's go. We got off to a good start last night and had a big victory against our rivals, Irvin County, and it was a lot about it that was not real pretty to watch, but the outcome was good, and we're looking forward to going back and cleaning up a lot of the mistakes.
Yes, sir. So, Coach, talk about how did you get into this profession? Because, it's something that you have to love doing to do it. Talk about what got you into coaching football.
Well, my dad's a head football coach and has been a head football coach since I was a little kid, and so I grew up around his teams, and I was a water boy, and then I graduated to being the ball boy, and then started playing, and so I was always around it. I think I developed a love for the game at a very young age, and I just love everything about it. I love the work. I love the competitiveness. I love the camaraderie of the team. I love the strategy and trying to outwork people and trying to compete and win. And so I fell in love with the game at a young age. Was fortunate enough to play. And I walked on at Valdosta State and played 5 years there. And whenever that was over, I pretty much knew I wanted to get into coaching and jump right on in.
Okay, so speaking of that, what's the background, your coaching history? How did you get to where you are now and the journey just to get there to where you are at Fitzgerald right now? Talk about your path, so to speak.
Well, I've been really fortunate, and it's nothing I've done, but I've been around some really, really good head football coaches that I've worked under. Every coach that I played under or worked under has won a state or a national championship. And so I played for my dad, who's won 7. I walked on at Valdosta State and played 5 years under Chris Hatcher, who won 1, and David Dean, who's won 2. And then, after that, I worked with Chris Hatcher at Georgia Southern for 1 year. And then Rance Gillespie hired me at Valdosta High School to be the wide receivers coach in 2010. And he's won 2 or 3 at Peach County. And then after that, I worked for Milan Turner at Thompson High School for 1 year as offensive coordinator. And he won the championship at ECI. And then after that, I worked with my dad at Coffee for 3 years, Lowndes for 1 year under Randy McPherson, and then Valdosta 1 year with Alan Rodemaker, and we won the state championship that year. So been really fortunate to be around a lot of jam-up football coaches, and I just tried to learn as much as I could from them and kind of observe how they handled all kind of situations that get thrown at them, and tried to take a little bit from each one of them that have definitely helped me be successful where I'm at here.
Yes, sir. And definitely all those programs you mentioned are, historic programs, especially, Valdosta, Lowndes. Just talk about just a culture of winning. So, just to be able to work under those guys and, realize and learn how to just, to win this game. It's a blessing, Coach. So talk about 2021. You guys won the title. And your first since 1948 for Fitzgerald High School. So what will it take to repeat and get back to the promised land, so to speak?
Well, I think the first thing we got to do if we want to get back there is we got to forget about last year, because everybody's talking about defending champions and we're not. Last year we won the championship. This year there's a bunch of teams going after the championship. So we just got to understand that nothing we did last year carries over. And we're going to have to earn everything we get, and so we just try to take it one day at a time. We've got a new staff, every year the staff changes, the leadership of the team changes. Your strengths and your weaknesses sometimes change. We got a lot back on offense, so I don't think there's a lot that'll change there, but we got a lot of young guys on defense. And so we're just going through the process of taking it day by day, harping on the fundamentals, trying to get our kids to play with good pad level and be good with their hands and first steps and all the little things that it takes to be successful. And obviously we still got a long way to go, but we have a lot of time to get there too. It's kind of like a ladder. We just need to take the next step. You can't get from the bottom to the top. You just need to go through the process of step by step and showing up every day ready to work, making it a priority to fix the mistakes you made the day before and continuing to grow and develop each and every day. And if we can do that, hopefully we can be in the thick of it, when it gets to the semifinals or so. And at that point in time, you set yourself up to have a chance.
Yeah, well said, Coach. Just a process. Day by day. What a lot of people don't understand is that football is a very it's a game full of technicality as much as the physical aspect of it. Very mental, and it's just technique, building fundamentals, which can be crucial. As you should know, especially in those clutch moments in the game. So, but Coach, you guys got the win over Irwin County last night in the season opener, 28-20. What'd you like from the game? What you didn't like? How's this going to be a good building block going forward as you move into the next week?
Well, obviously, I like the fact that we won the game. We did not play very well. We jumped down 14-0. We didn't really execute the game plan. Our defensive coaches had told them that, number 3 is a really good player. When he comes in the game, he's getting the ball. And on the second play of the game, not only do we don't get our number 1 corner on him, but we let him beat us right over the top for a touchdown. We also gave up another ball over our head for a touchdown. We didn't execute a goal line play on 4th down and goal at the 4. We had a little play to a little Tebow pass to the tight end, and my wideout doesn't get a very big split. So his guy comes in and actually makes a play. So the execution was terrible. There's penalties all over the place. We got a long way to go. That's what I didn't like. But what I did like was the effort and the toughness and the resiliency that our kids showed. When you're playing a really good team like Irwin and you jump down 14-0, that ain't good. That ain't good at all, And so our kids battled, and they just kept fighting and they kept fighting. And we didn't take the lead until I think 40 seconds left to go in the game. And so the fight's there, the heart's there, the toughness is there, and we can definitely work with that. But we got a long way to go in the execution.
Yeah. Speak on how important it is to have that resiliency and that perseverance to keep fighting throughout the game, just knowing that it's not over until that final buzzer goes off.
Right. I think it's one thing to say it, and I think it's another thing to truly mean it and live it and walk it and do it. We got some tough kids here at Fitzgerald. That ain't nothing that I've done. Fitzgerald's always had some tough football players. It means a lot to them, so they're definitely invested. They spend a lot of time, hours, sweat, blood in the weight room and the film room. And so it means a lot to our kids. It means a lot to our coaches. It means a lot to our community. And so, those guys have worked really hard and football's like life. Everything ain't going to go your way. It's not. When you play other good football teams, they're going to make good plays too. And there's going to be adversity. It's not if, it's when. The adversity's coming. And, some teams can't battle through that. Unfortunately for us, we've got a team that has that. That's the strength of ours. So, like I said, I think if you got that mindset and you understand it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, it's a 4-quarter game, and there's going to be some good and bad that comes, and you already got that in your mind, you're kind of already made up your mind how you're going to handle that stuff before that situation even arises. And so that's probably a strength of ours so far that we found out in week 1. And, my message to the team after the game was, that I was really proud of them for coming back and making the plays when they had to, playing through adversity and finding a way to win the game. But, we're not going to win a state championship on toughness and effort alone. We're going to have to put some good football and some execution there. And I think that'll happen. We just got to focus on taking the next step.
Yep, day by day. So who were some of those guys, you mentioned some of your players, who were some of those players of yours that you and your staff are looking forward to this season just to have, just contribute overall to the success of your team?
Well, we've got a lot of kids back on offense. 4 of our 5 linemen, Xavier Walker, Levon Simmons, Gabe Pierce, Christian Riggins are all back off our state championship team. Khalil Williams is the tight end. He's back. Sultan Cooper, the quarterback's back, and Calvin Tillman, the wide receiver's back. And Sultan Cooper and Calvin Tillman had a really good night last night. Cylon Davis at fullback has been a good player. DeAndre Pascal's been a good player at fullback, plays a little halfback. Drew Moore has been a great wingback for us, also plays linebacker. Daniel James is an all-state defensive end that's back. He's playing a little bit of linebacker as well. Really good player. DJ Brown is a good player for us in the secondary. Robert Brown and Brandon Brown are setting edges for us on the edge. And pretty good football players. We really like those two guys. And then there's a lot of guys battling for the other spots, and a lot of those positions like halfback and D-line, we're rolling a bunch of different guys in there, and that's a good thing for depth. It's a good thing because competition breeds excellence, but we are hoping that as we go through the course of this season, that some people step up and show us who needs to get the most playing time. We evaluate film every day. We obviously evaluate the games, and hopefully somebody's going to step up and demand that they stay on the field there. And we're hoping, naturally that normally happens. And so we're kind of looking out and hoping that comes soon.
Yep, absolutely, Coach. And you just like you mentioned, just having those guys, the leaders, step up. Demand, hey, I need to be on the field because I believe, but in the sense of, not in the selfish sense, but as in the sense of just, hey, when I'm on the field, I'm gonna make sure that I demand, excellence out of everybody on this team, including myself, including the coaches. Just overall, when you have guys like that, I believe it really helps boost morale, and everybody's buying in. And once everybody buys in, you got a good team set up there. So
that's what we challenge them to do, is just go out there and do what you've been coached to do. Because if you'll do what you've been coached to do, we'll be successful. If everybody does their job, we'll be successful. So we're not looking for heroism. We're looking for people that can go out there and play through the ups and downs of the game, be experts at the fundamentals, and execute the game plan and do what you've been coached to do. And fortunately for us, we got a lot of guys that can do that. And we still have some that are learning, and obviously experience is a big X factor there when you're talking about doing all that. The guys that have been in that fire before and been in those big games, the game moves a little slower for them. Some of them guys that are new and don't have any experience, sometimes those are the guys that get out there and have trouble doing exactly what they've been coached to do. So, like coaches say, there's no substitute for experience, and you either got it or you're trying to get it. And sometimes when you're trying to get it, that's when the inconsistency comes. And so, like every team, we got some areas that we got that experience and consistency, and we got some areas that we're working on it.
Absolutely. So, Coach, are there any role models that you look up to, in this profession, whether it be college or NFL, just guys that inspire you to get up every day and do what you do, guys that you kind of take notes after, anybody like that in your life?
Yeah, obviously my dad to start with, I learned more from him than I even realized. But all those head coaches that I worked for, I learned great things from all of them, whether it be in character ed or whether it be in practice schedule or whether it be in how you deal with parents and kids. I've learned so much from all of them. Milan Turner was my strength coach in high school, and then he gave me my first coordinator job. He's a great Christian man. I've learned a lot from him. And Rance Gillespie, learned a lot of organization and templates and film study stuff from him. And so all the coaches that I've worked for have been really good to me, and I've tried to look up to them, and hopefully I can be half as good as some of them guys have turned out to be.
Great. Yeah, Coach. Absolutely. And like I said earlier, you have worked under some great coaches, some great guys, in some great programs, So obviously that is an asset to Fitzgerald as it's been proven the last, 6 years that you've been there. So more power to you, Coach. So, as you know, the region alignment kind of different this year. A lot of teams are moving around, as far as 2A, you had some more teams coming in, like teams like Elka and, Haralson County moving in and around. So talk about what that alignment means for your program, and just how different it is, and just what's your whole thoughts on that?
Well, one thing I've been guilty of in the past is really worrying about that stuff. Who's in there, who ain't in there, looking around at who's got what and how good those teams are. And, I think one thing I've learned, over my time is that you only get to coach one team, and that's your team, And so what we're trying to do is make our team the best it can be. The best possible football team we can have is what we want to have. And then we'll find out, where that stacks up against those other guys. But Double A's definitely gotten a lot tougher. You got Pierce and Applin, who were two of the Final Four in AAA that came down. Pierce beat us 17-0 last year. Then you also got Thompson and Rockmart, who were two AAA region champions that also came down. You got Eagles Landing Christian Academy and Fellowship, who were part of the Final Four in private that have moved up. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be competitive. And we know that if we want to be where we want to be at the end of the year, that we better not worry about them. We better worry about us, and we better make sure that we're growing each and every day and that we're getting better, and that when that day comes that we got to step out there and play one of them, that we're ready.
Yeah, Coach, great stuff. Much more. It seems like entertaining this year, which with all the different player movement and even though that's this year round, but talking about the regional lineman teams moving around, coming here and this and that. So, again, you guys are set up to have a great year. I believe you will have a great season. More and good luck to y'all this year here in 2022. And congrats on the win last night. So, Coach, that about wraps us up here today for the podcast. But again, I appreciate you joining us here, talk some football. And it's been great, Coach, and good luck to you guys this year.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, no problem. You're welcome back anytime, Coach.
All right.
Have a good one, man. Yeah, guys, this has been Jay's Fifth Down Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Gay. Today we talk with Coach Pruitt there at Fitzgerald High School. Won state championship last year in 2021. Looking to repeat as champions, but of course, as he said, this is a day-by-day process. You have to just go to work each and every day, and the rest will work itself out. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Make sure you guys check us out here and for more football content. Thank you.